All right. We have you. Thanks for joining us today, Denny.
All right, thanks.
We appreciate it. Okay, we're going to get started with questions for Denny. Like I said, we do have a number of questions in the queue, so bear with us as we knock off as many as we can. To start, we're going to go to Bob Pockers. Bob, go ahead with your question.
Denny, how worried are you about the possibility of getting COVID over the next 10 weeks, and are you doing anything additional to avoid it?
Not doing anything additional. Whatever I've been doing, it's been successful. Obviously you don't want to go anywhere new, I would say, but I mean, I think that we've got a good process. I monitor kind of my health and whatnot through some stuff that I have. So I think that I'm not really too concerned about it, but obviously anything can happen. So you never know.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Jenna Fryer. Jenna, go ahead.
Denny, the last 2 years you've been able to put really complete seasons from start to finish together. Is that confidence or maturity? What besides Gabe Hart has been the difference in the last 2 years?
Well, I mean, just a lot of stuff has changed on and off the racetrack. I think that we've just, I've changed a little bit as a driver. I've just adapted quite a bit as well. So, I mean, it's tough to say what automatically has just flipped the switch and made the results be what they've been over the last 2 years or less than 2 years. But certainly there's a process that we put into preparing for each week that is working for us. It's working for me, and we're just me and Chris have just kind of got a thing going that's working for us. I don't really know what it is, but I just know that we're performing at tracks that necessarily haven't statistically been strong suits for us, and each and every week we're contending for the race win. So I don't know why that is, but it's happening.
Are you any different?
I would say so. I mean, I know that I am. I mean, from the start of January 2019 to now, no question. There's a lot of changes that have happened on and off the track that's attributed, I'm sure.
Thanks, Denny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next question, we'll go to Jeff Gluck. Jeff, go ahead with your question.
Denny, who is a dark horse team that could surprise people with a little run in these playoffs?
I don't know if it's a dark horse, but probably Blaney. If I had to guess, I think that he shows the most speed when he's on the speed. He's really on. I think of like Texas, where I thought he was significantly faster than just everybody. I think we were the next best car, but he's just a guy that I look at as he has the ability to make it through each round, and perhaps I don't know how many Final Four brackets he might be in. I would say if I had to guess of everyone that fills one out, he's probably in 5% of them, maybe. But I think legitimately, I think he has a much, much better shot at that of making it through.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from, let's see here, Dustin Albino. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, Denny, thanks for your time today. You obviously had a bunch of playoff points, but the second round of the playoffs has got the rule on Talladega. So how unpredictable is that?
It's a lot. I mean, what I look at when it comes to the second round is I want to have a really good race at Las Vegas. And hopefully if I build upon my point lead over the cut line after Vegas, then I'll race Talladega just as normal as I normally would. If not, maybe I change the way that I do things. I think every driver's strategy will be a little bit different given their particular situation. And I think you have to change your strategy based off of where you are. You can't, a lot of people say, oh, you never change anything. Well, you're not going to be successful if you never change anything. So you have to be able to adapt to your situation and plan and strategize accordingly. So those are very volatile races. It's ones that you feel like you can go win either one, but you also know you can go out there and run 20th in both of them or worse. So it's you got to make sure you put yourself in a good position before you get there.
Thanks, Denny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next question from Dustin Long. Dustin, go ahead with your question.
Thank you. Denny, what are you curious to see either with you and your team or just overall in the playoffs? What are you curious to see coming up these next few weeks?
Well, I want to see how we do in the first round. I want to see, these are historically really good tracks for me. I think that I want to see our momentum continue. I don't want it to, we're not going to race any differently, especially in the first round. I think that I'm going to be very aggressive. I'm going to try to get more wins. I just want to see who shows up from the competition standpoint that maybe people have slept on or maybe hasn't shown everything they had until the playoffs started. I think that there will be one or two guys that find a way to run significantly better than what they have shown during the regular season, and we're going to have to step up our game accordingly to that.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Jordan Bianchi. Jordan, go ahead.
Denny, how long did it take you to get over Homestead last year? How much did it sting, and what were the conversations like with Chris Gabehart afterward?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even talk about Homestead. I think it was probably right around Daytona time this year when we were just talking kind of spitballing, what we were doing, this year coming up and our strategy for the first part of the season, going through all the analytics from the past season. And he's like, are you not going to ask me why I put that big piece of tape on your car? I was like, no, I mean, I assumed you had a reason for it. So I just, I figured it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is go out there and, drive as fast as I can every single lap and tell you the information that you need to make the car go faster. I did what I felt like all I could do to win the championship, and it just it didn't work out. I knew that he's an aggressive guy that goes for it. So I don't, like I said, I knew that there was some sort of reason why he did what he did. And I wasn't going to fault him for it. So it didn't take me any time to get over it. We had a great year. We came off a winless season before to a 6-win season that year. We won the must-win situation at Phoenix that we needed to get to the Final Four. So it didn't take me any time to get over it. And especially, it showed we won the Daytona 500 again this year. So we've continued our momentum regardless of what happened in the final race.
A quick follow-up. Did you ask him to scale back his aggressiveness or anything, or you want him to continue to be as aggressive as he was?
No, I want him to stay that way. I think that he's very aggressive with strategy and things like that. I do not want him to play it safe unless he sees an opportunity for, hey, if we play it safe here, we're guaranteeing some sort of result that we need. That would be the only time that I would like to see him scale back. But I don't think it'll be tough for that to actually happen.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Pete Acabelli. Pete, go ahead.
Denny, obviously racing's come a long way since the last time you guys were at Darlington. Back then in May, did you have some concerns, questions, worries about whether we'd even get to this point in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I had concerns, but I also was pretty confident that we were going to get back to racing, probably quicker than other sports, simply because we were not a contact sport when it comes to player. So we have an advantage over other sports in that aspect. So finding a way to make it safe, finding protocols to put in place to keep us separated from each other certainly has played a factor in us being able to go back and be one of the first sports back, and now catching up our schedule to regular schedule program now that we start our playoffs. So NASCAR leadership's done a really good job of doing that and putting everything in place for us to get to this point. And now we just need to assume that this season's no different other than the lack of practice that we're going to have through the playoffs, and we'll just go from there.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Chase Wilhelm with NASCAR.com. Go ahead, Chase.
Hey, Danny, thanks for joining us. The big thing that stuck out between you and Kevin Harvick this season, with all the success, is the mutual respect that you guys have for each other, as well as the 4 team and the 11 team, while you guys are battling hard for wins each and every week. So what's that experience been like from your perspective? And do you anticipate that changing at all between you and Harvick with the pressure of the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. Simply because the championship is won in the final race, where I think that this was a 10-week playoff where the champion was crowned after his 10-race performance. Then yeah, there's maybe an opportunity there for head games or whatever it might be. Even though I think we're pretty much old and too old for that. So I think, we have a lot of respect between each other. Our teams do as well. We're going to battle each other at some point in these playoffs. But we know that, we both need to make it to the final. I think the right scenario is that we're at Phoenix together battling it out for the championship. And, there's a lot of work that's got to get done to get us to that point, but that's probably the right thing when you think about how a championship should be crowned. But our format's a little different. You got to go out and win that final one. So I don't think that we will race each other any different than what we have all season long. And, the only time that would ever change would be in that final race.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Tim with the Richmond Times. Tim, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Denny. From a driver's perspective, what has it been like at the tracks without fans, and what do you expect it'll be like for you when you come to Richmond, given that it's your home track?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's certainly not ideal, but we're still able to put out a product on Sundays that people enjoy and it's entertaining. So yeah, our sport probably looks as good or as it did before. It shows well on TV, even though there's no one in the stands. The on-track action is no different. So I certainly, it stinks that they're not there, because I wish that the fans could enjoy kind of that playoff atmosphere, but also, understand that we've got to keep everyone safe. And on the racetracks that we do have fans, you can feel that energy. You really can, even though it's just a few thousand people. That little bit does matter, and you can certainly feel the intensity is just a little bit different before and after a race. So we're hoping that they get back to a racetrack soon. We certainly enjoy having them around. So that's why we're out here doing this, right? Is to entertain them. So it sucks we're only doing it on TV right now, but pretty soon, hopefully, we'll have them back in full capacity.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Darren Haynes. Darren, go ahead.
Hey, Denny. Darren Haynes in Washington, D.C. One of the things about you when you were going to race in Richmond, can you explain why that's one of your favorite tracks, but also the fact that it's on a Saturday and you're going to get the opportunity to watch Washington's football team week 1?
Yeah, it's it's one of my favorite tracks for one good reason, is it's 30 minutes from kind of where I grew up. And we used to go out there and watch, the races. Every time NASCAR would come in town, me and my family went out to Richmond and watched them. Even though it's 3/4 of a mile in length, it really drives like a lot of the short tracks that I grew up racing on, where you got to have your car handling a certain way. You got to have turn good. You got to have good forward bite off the corner. It drives like a true short track. And so that's what I enjoy about it the most. that, and obviously the success that we've had there. Those three things makes me excited every time I roll through the tunnel there.
I just want to follow up on having that opportunity that Sunday now to go and watch Washington's football team week 1 that Sunday. What are your thoughts on the team this year?
Yeah, it's awesome that football is going to be able to happen. It looks like, crossing our fingers, things change day to day, but I'm excited for it. Obviously they made a lot of changes within that organization itself, even beyond the players. So excited to see where kind of where it goes this year. And I always kind of temper my expectations. I like to have low expectations and then let's beat it. I don't like to oversell anything. So let's just let's be patient and see how this thing turns out.
Thanks, Danny.
Okay,
Thank
we're
you.
going to take a question from Koki Riley with the Arizona Central. Go ahead.
Thanks for joining us, Denny. So we may be months away from the final playoff race of the season in Phoenix, but I just wanted to hear what you believe makes Phoenix Raceway a unique racing experience.
Well, I like Phoenix Raceway in particular because, they really, invested in that racetrack for the fans and their experience. A lot of money has got put into there from the fan zone inside the racetrack around Victory Lane to kind of the midway there as well. And the fans have always come out to that racetrack in full force, even when it's just a regular season race. So it's very deserving to be the championship race itself. So I always look forward to going to that racetrack, and it's like Richmond, it drives very much like a short track. And so you got to bring your A game if you're going to go win there.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Lee Spencer. Lee, go ahead.
Thank you. Denny, just curious, you talked about earlier somebody getting hot and making a run for it in the playoffs. Could that driver be coming from under your own roof, as in Kyle Busch? Do you see him making a Tony Stewart-esque type of run like Smoke did in 2011?
It's possible. I mean, it's absolutely possible. I mean, I think we even saw it last year, right? I mean, he was the least championship favorite going into the Final Four, and he won the race and he's champion. So it just, anything can happen in our sport, especially the way this format plays out. So you just you do everything you can for 35 weeks. You put yourself in good position, and then you just hope and pray that things work out for you in that final race, so you can be a champion. But certainly believe that, I know that he's got racing winning equipment. Are they off key right now? Yes, a little bit, but certainly if anyone has a chance to get hot, yes, it certainly could be Kyle and his team. So they know what they're doing. They've got championship pedigree. They know how to get through these 10 weeks. They've shown many times by making it to the Final Four, even when they haven't been at their best. So certainly it's a team that will be a threat.
Appreciate your time. Good luck to you and Gabe Hart this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Denny, that's all the time we have for today. So we appreciate you joining us, and we wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And to the media who are still with us, thank you for sticking with us today. We will have our next driver available, which will be Kyle Busch. Kyle will actually not be available until about an hour from now. So if you do not mind, please hang on with us. We'll leave the room open so you can easily do what you need to do without having to sign out of the room. If you have any questions, let us know. Kyle will be back here at 3:06. So we have a good hour. Like I said, we'll leave the room open. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.